Okay, now we are moving on to ceremony resolutions. This is to adopt the resolution, actually, it's, items 3 through 5.1. Would any supervisors like to speak to any of these ceremony resolutions? Any members of the public would like to speak on these resolutions? Seeing none, if we have a motion to approve items.
Second.
Moved by Salinas, seconded by Phillips to approve items 3 to 5.1. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, everyone, thank you. We have a special ceremony for celebrating Native American Month in Monterey County. This is a special day to commemorate our Native American community here. It's also an honor to take a moment to recognize the Native peoples, which are a symbol of hope and courage in our county. The Board of Supervisors takes great pride in honoring the Native Ohlone. They go by several names: Ohlone, Costanoan, Esalen, Amamutsin, Muwekma, who flourished among this atmosphere throughout the Monterey Bay area for generations, from here to the San Francisco Bay Area. They have contributed over 13,000 years of cultural, economic, and environmental traditions to the history of the Monterey Bay and throughout California. But they continue to revitalize their culture, preserve it, and have engaged in conservation, whether it deals with the environment or culture. We've established partnerships with schools, governments at the state and local level, and with other tribes throughout the state of California. We have a special presentation today. We originally had planned to have the Muwekma Ohlone singers of the San Francisco Bay Area who were going to come sing 2 traditional songs for the first time ever in Monterey County history here in these chambers. Unfortunately, yesterday we got notice that the schedules did not permit them to join us. We hope to do that next year. But we do have a special presentation and comments by our Ohlone Esalen Tribal Chairwoman, Louise Miranda Ramirez, who's going to speak first before I present a resolution to speak on some of the history of the Monterey Bay, the creation stories, and the traditions of the Native peoples of this beautiful area we call home. And I want to invite Louise. We give a big round of applause to Louise.
I introduce my grandson, Jordan Caceres, Tribal Council member, Joe Kavanaugh. And we have other guests with us, and Indigenous and Browning, please join us. All Native people, Browning is a professor at CSUMB, he's Potawatomi. Sorry, Nishma, Yoel Kitu Kanamsha Masana Tahoihizi, Adsia Pani Amichak Pasamoatas, Afehetan, Aloni Costanoan and Esalen Nation, and Afehetan, the Greater Monterey Bay Area. My name is Louise Miranda Ramirez. I am Tribal Chairwoman for Ohlone Costanoan Esalen Nation, and we are the indigenous people of Monterey County. Our records are for 13 core families. Each member of our tribe must prove a relationship to either Carmel or Soledad Mission, to where the priests kept records of the people that came in when they first opened the missions in 1770. In our way, like your guys wear, I have to put glasses on to read now. If I can just ask you to stand, so before we do anything else. Las dos no yam, las met, las diapa, las ausway, let, salewa, iu, let, lohma, lakai, no me lechi, tahawi, ekipasa, laka, tahapsa, chili, lechi, tohesa, hekepa, kominan, let, kulin, let, walam, laka, taitekasa, selawa, ta'aha, kominan, let, pana, chili, Tahawi let Lotma, Lakai Lawis Lotma, Las Taiteka Sana no Taiteka, Kuminan let Efehe Pani Las Pas Tohesa. Creator, grandfather and grandmothers and ancestors, we come in a good way. We ask that you protect and guide us and give us the strength and knowledge so that all of us reclaim our language and culture, watch over all of our children, and give them the desire to participate in their culture and give peace to all our families. Thank you. So we wanted to do something, you may say, thank you. We wanted to do something even though our neighbors to the north both couldn't make it. So what I did was brought you some of our stories. When we talk about our creation story, our creation started at Pico Blanco, and it was in the time of the animal people, and coyote and hummingbird and eagle watching over them all. And the waters were coming up to Pico Blanco, and eagle got coyote and hummingbird and flew them to the Gavilan Mountains. And there the water started receding, and the water started to recede, and eagle sent coyote out and said, go to the river, which is the Salinas River, so that you know that is so sacred to us to be protected. And coyote came, and at the river he found woman. And he went back and he told eagle, he says, I went and I found woman. And eagle said, great, yours now will go down and bring back the people. And that was at the ending of the time of the animal people. And so coyote went back to the river and met woman and married and brought back the people. So I'm going to cut that really short because we're going to go on. So I brought you some of our stories. One of the things that we have done is working with our language and to return it after it had been sleeping for over 100 years. It had not disappeared, it was not gone. It lives within us, and we need to bring it back. So I brought one of the stories, it's called the blind man story. So that this story was given to us in just a couple of lines in Grover's notebook, number 26 in 1900 and 1901. And for the board, I gave you a few other prayers as stories as well, because our stories carry our history. There are stories of when we left one area and went to another, when we were dancing in one place and coming to another. And so our stories are very important that we're bringing them back to the Esalen language. So the blind man song. Tochayo was Esalen Indian from the village of Achasta. Tochayo was a young man and loved much by his people. All the people loved that Tochayo played the flute so beautiful. Yet sadness was a great part of Tochayo's life. For Tochayo was blind since birth, and though he acted as he was good, he hurt inside. For Tochayo believed that he would never have a wife and a family. Not being able to hunt, Tochayo believed he could never provide food for a family. There was a young woman named Chanuta who loved to listen to Tochayo play the flute. Chanuta wanted to become Tochayo's wife, but he would never marry her because he could not hunt. Chanuta knew that she would need to find a way for Tochayo to hunt. One day she said to Tochayo, "Come, I will take you hunting." Tochayo said, "How will you do this?" Chanuta said, "Come." And she took him into the trees. She pointed his bow and arrow towards the deer. She said to Tochayo, "When I sing, there goes the meat, you shoot your arrow." As Chanuta sang, Tochayo shot his arrow. The deer fell to the earth. Both Tochayo and Chanuta gave prayer to the Creator for the deer. They promised the Creator never to waste it. And asked Chanuta and Tochayo, I think I missed the sentence in there in the computer. Tochayo asked Chanuta to marry him. After they were married, the Esalen people knew when Tochayo and Chanuta were hunting, for they could hear Chanuta singing when they called, what they called the blind man's song. I have one story that I wanted to read to you about coyote. It's called the Coyote Thorn Story. And we ask that you always remember that coyote represents man, okay? Mashkas, Pumulpa, Tanatahi, Haniki, Nanyuran, Yanapunan, Hanomeshkika, Hikpa, Mashkash, Tia Elba Kanak Pami, Ukushpa, Mashkash, Sunak Ukushki, Nu, Hikpano, Tanak, Ma Ali Mekpa Mashkash, Mashkash, Abskula Pa, Laka, Ru, Neku, Loliki Pep, Tanak, Ukupsha, Mashkash, Mawipam, Imasas, Panak, Iu, Lakar, Hakam, Pami, Ukushpa, Pami, Tuchulis, Mashkash, Mipa, Anna, Ukushpa, Yukla, Hama, Nem, Aher, Mashkas, Taiteka, Aniki, Sasipi, Alam, Papia, Yukla, Kuniki, Lakar, Shansha, Tashiri, We, Hama, Kuniki, Imasas, Tanak, Ukla, Mashka, Shansha, Tasili, Hama, Huniki, Laka, Hawikam, Huniki. So remember what I said. Coyote represents man, so translation. Coyote tell woman that there was a thorn in his eye. Coyote asked woman to take it out. Oh, Coyote, only wood, little wood have an eyelid. Woman not believe Coyote. Coyote looked and picked the prettiest one. Woman, take out, Coyote saying. When woman came and about to seize with fingers, Coyote said, no, take out with your teeth. Coyote did this so that he could take her and run away with her. When woman took out, Coyote ran away with her and married her. So our stories remind us of who we are, remind us where we came from, and they're coming home. They're all coming back to us. All the stories, all our language, and all of our culture, so that our children know who they are. And so I ask you all to take the time to find out who you are, where you're from, and learn your language, learn your history, learn your stories, because they exist, but you have to find them. Thank you.
Thank you. Which one you want? Wait here. Got the mic? Okay. On behalf of the Monterey County Board of Supervisors, my colleagues, first of all, I want to thank Chairwoman Luis Miranda Ramirez for all the work she does here. Sharing our cultures, being able to hear the native language of the Monterey Bay, the stories. These folks are keeping that culture alive for our future generations. Very important for young people to respect all the diverse people that make up Monterey County, but especially the indigenous people, the original inhabitants of California, the Monterey Bay. It's so critical. So I'm very honored to thank our chairwoman for her great work, but also Supervisor Adams and I had an honor to attend a ceremony where she led the ceremony to rebury the remains of Native American ancestors on the Presidio, and she does that work throughout the year, making sure we're respectful to our ancestors and a lot of the things are fine sometimes when they're doing construction projects and excavations. But today, on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, we're very honored for that. I think for the first time, we're honoring Native American Month. And I just want to read part of it. I won't read all of it. Monterey County Native Americans have contributed and continue to contribute immeasurably to our county's history, diversity, economy, and culture by distinguishing themselves as academics, entrepreneurs, and leaders, to name a few. The Ohlone Kusnoan has contributed over 13,000 years of cultural, economic, and environmental traditions to the history of the Monterey Bay region. The Ohlone Kusnoan have contributed to the present day understanding of Native American culture and history and continue to work diligently to preserve the environment and teach people how to coexist with Mother Earth. Native Americans have preserved their rich traditions, which are among the world's greatest cultural treasures in the face of adversity. Their heritage and culture is richly interwoven with Monterey County's diverse social fabric. So it is an honor, therefore, that the Monterey County Board of Supervisors, on behalf of the county and all its citizens thereof, hereby proclaim the month of September 2018 as Native American Heritage Month in Monterey County. Muchas gracias. Thank you for all you do. Give a big round of applause, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and I think that was the first time ever we heard the native language ever spoken on this board chamber, so we made history today too. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming, for sharing those songs and the music. Thank you. Oh, we have our mayor here today. Our mayor from the city of San City.
City of San City.
City of San City. She's the only Native American elected official in all Monterey County. Let's hear from words for our mayor of San City.
I am very proud to be here today, and I'd like to thank the Monterey County for last year changing this day into Indigenous Peoples Day. I believe I kind of got behind the ball a little, and San City changed this as well. We switched Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day, as well as the city in Monterey. I take it back, Marina, Watsonville, and Seaside. And I'm just very proud to be here. We will be celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday the 8th at 6 p.m. and you're all welcome to attend. And we are working with CSUMB to make this happen. So it's got a lot of help. Thank you.
All right, one last round for Mayor Mariana Marlon. Thank you very much.